Okay. Okay. Hello, hello. Is this thing on? Not funny. Hi, everyone. So this is going to be secondary dominance, but also there's another topic that isn't really in depth enough for a whole video on, and we're going to squeeze that in front. Chord inversions, because I realized I never covered it. So a chord inversion is you take a C major chord, right? Okay. Well, what if I did this? If I invert the C and just put up an octave? Well, that's still a C major chord, it just sounds a little different. Or what if I put the C and E up here instead? And, these are inversions. So this is called first inversion, and then this is called second inversion, and yeah. And if you get a 4-note chord, you can go up to third inversion. All it is you keep just taking chord tones, going root, third, fifth, seventh, like that. So, yeah, that's a chord inversion. That's just useful to know because, like, one particularly, this second inversion chord has a very powerful function. We're just going to go over that really quick. Remember how I said there's only 2 dominant chords? There's actually 3. And it's the tonic chord in second inversion, because here, I'll just play it for you. It is like the most generic classical music thing ever, but it's really satisfying. And it'll sound like this. Oh my god, too fast, too fast. You know, like, especially if you voice lead it like this, it'll sound even more satisfying. But yeah, that's 1 in second inversion to 5 to 1. You usually do 1 in second inversion going immediately to 5, and you keep the G where it is. And yeah, so that's a really nice progression that you could do to end stuff. Okay, so now that we got inversions out of the way, actually we haven't. There's one more thing you should know. It's just cool. So, say you just want to invert intervals, right? You have C and E, and to invert this E, so this is an E above C. Well, what if we put it to an E below C? Because that sounds different than this, you know? And, well, what interval is this? Well, this was a third, right? And there's something called the rule of 9, where you subtract the interval you had from 9. So we had a third, so 9 minus 3 is 6. Okay, so this is a sixth. And that works like a second. So D here, D down here. Alright, 9 minus 2, that's a seventh. Okay. So yeah, now we've done that. Got that out of the way. How long did that take? Okay, that was only 3 minutes. Good. Okay. We can move on to something called secondary dominance. Now, this is very spicy stuff. This is really cool. So let's just whip up some C major progression. We'll do be as generic as possible. 1, 4, 5 in an inversion. And then resolve it to a 1. There we go. So yeah. Nice, beautiful, satisfying, all of it. Cool. But what if you want to throw in some extra spice, right? So this is where the circle of fifths is really helpful to know, because so we know G resolves to C, but you know we also know that D major resolves to G. So even though D major's out of key, what if we just threw in a D dominant 7th chord? How would that sound? Ooh, that's some spicy shit right there. You know what I'm saying? That's that good shit. And this is what secondary dominance is about. It's like setting up some kind of resolution where you resolve this immediately to a G chord, but then the G chord also wants to resolve, so it makes this resolution that much more satisfying. And you can apply this to any chord. You could do the 4 chord. The 4 chord's really easy. So the 4 chord in C major is F, A, C. Now, C resolves to F. So let's just, so you know, we have a C, E, G, and then we throw in the dominant 7th version so that a resolution to F sounds nice. And then you do, then you just throw in the nice 5, because, you know, we keep it simple here, I guess. So this should sound pretty cool. Right? And you can do it with any chord. You can do it with a 2 chord, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever you want. I do advise some caution with 7, just because it's a diminished chord, it's kind of hard for that to really resolve. But on the flip side of that, that makes it a really cool tension tool. So B, E, F sharp major resolves to B. So that's the basic idea behind secondary dominant chords. Now, doing this also lets you do something that a lot of Romantic era composers liked, where you could do a chromatic bass line. Where like, okay, you got C, E, G, B. Okay, well then you get B, and then we just do then a chromatic bass line is simply, I should have explained this. It's a bass line that goes in half steps. So you go C, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat. For as long as you want, you could keep it going, right? So we got a C, then we got a B. A really good chord would be a Dom 7 chord, right? G chord, and then we need a B flat. Well, if we use the secondary dominant, so C is the dominant of F, and then we resolve the A to an F, right? So then we have a nice chromatic bass line, like it sounds. It's a really cool thing, and then you can end it whenever you want. So yeah, secondary dominants are like an extremely powerful tool, because now you know how to throw chords in there that aren't in key, but still make them sound great, and use them really effectively, right? These make pieces of music much more colorful, and I love them. Alright, I hope that I explained that well, and I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you will find plenty of uses for these. These are one of my favorite things in music theory. They're one of my absolute favorites. I hope you enjoyed.